How is it going, everybody? Today I'm going to do just a quick initial thoughts review of the new Limb-Shikar sticks by Out on a Limb Manufacturing. First things first, as far as packability and weight and ease of use, the third one's important. This is going to be absolutely hard to beat. Last year I hunted with the Wild Edge and the Wild Edge Perch, and those are probably the same weight, if not close. They're a little bit more bulky, actually, the way that they pack, and they are not as easy to use as just a normal climbing stick. Whereas in those, I was using 12 of those to get to 24 feet, roughly, you know. I could probably do it with 8 if I was using my 8ers, but if I wasn't using 8ers, about 12 of those to get to 24, 26 feet. With 4 of these and just a small 8er, I can get to that same height. And the weight is about the same. With my Hawk sticks, I was giving up some packability and some weight for ease of use. With these, I'm getting packability, lightweight, and ease of use. So let me just kind of show you how these things work. If y'all haven't seen them, let me pull up my chair here. If y'all haven't seen these things, this is the stick here. This is the 22-inch model. So how these work, as you can see, the profile is nothing right now. How these work, you loosen this knob, pop the stick into place, and tighten it down. So there is your stick and standoff. Now, I got some advice on the Saddle Hunter forum. You want to tighten this down with just a hinge, about 45 degrees off, and hold the knob, and then tighten your standoff down. That way it doesn't wobble. You can get more leverage on this here than you can on this knob. And that way this won't move any, or this won't move any when you're climbing the stand. Climbing up to your saddle or stand or whatever you're using. I'm gonna put this other one into place here. Same deal. About 45 degrees off, tighten the knob, hold the knob, then tighten the standoff down. And that's not gonna budge. I am attaching to the tree with 1/8 Amsteel daisy chain. I just made these at home, relatively simple to do. There's tons of tutorials on how to do the 1/8 inch daisy chain. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. I did mine, just ended it on the end like this, buried it inside, taped it on the end. So I've got a little bit at the end that I can't use, but most of it I can use. There are methods where you can make it where there's a loop on the end so the whole entire rope is usable. I didn't do it that way, but there is ways to do it like that. So that's my, daisy chain. Out on a Limb sells some attachment method products. I think they have like a webbing, maybe just like a normal type strap. I'm not quite sure. You have to check it out on their website. Now what's cool about these is it comes with a little hole at the bottom here where you can put your 8er in. And that's what I did, kind of my DIY modification. I made an 8er out of 1/8 Amsteel, and this is just some, like some 3/8 rubber tubing to keep it rigid to where I can step on it. I didn't make it incredibly long. I'm not super comfortable with 8ers, so I made it about maybe half the length of the stick, 2/3 the length of the stick. So initial thoughts, it's extremely packable, lightweight, and you get the ease of use of just regular climbing sticks. So I'm probably gonna switch from the Wild Edge that I hunted with last year and the Wild Edge Perch to this. I might still pack one Wild Edge step and the Wild Edge Perch as my platform. I might just do a ring of steps with this. If it's just going to be an afternoon hunt, I'll just hunt off the top standoff. If I'm not going to be hunting for terribly long, say an hour and a half to 2 hours, I won't even pack a platform. The top stick will be my platform. And out on the limb sells a platform that you can attach to one of these sticks. I'll look into that. I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily worth it. Now for an all-day hunt, maybe. But then again, I can just pack my ring of steps and that would work fantastic. But yeah, I mean, that's the stick. It's unbelievable how small and packable this thing is. And with the 8er and 4 of these, you get really high, and probably just 3 of them. There's tons of guys out there that do 1 and 2 stick methods. I'm not that guy. I like to just carry the sticks. That's why I have the mystery wrench pack. It's easy to pack. The weight, it doesn't affect me that much. So today, quickly, I want to show y'all how I made this 8er. Let's go. Okay, so first things on the length of the material that you'll need. I'm making an 18-inch 8er, so double that is 36, and add 10 inches for your 2 buries. So first things, just so that's 46 inches total. First thing, run it through the bottom of the hole at the Shikar stick. Equal lengths on either side. The first thing that we're going to do is just make a loop. So we're going to do a locked Brummel. That's what I'm doing there. I got that's a 1/4 inch fid. I'm feeding it through the line. Then I'm going to feed the other line back through to create my locked Brummel. So you make that first locked Brummel there to kind of give first your attachment point, and also to make it to where your step stays in the same position all the time and it's not going back and forth. Next, you want to cut your piece of tubing. 8 or 9 inches is the length of the tubing that I cut here. I believe it was right at 9 inches. So I cut the tubing, and you want to run the tubing onto your line before you create your endless loop here. So that's what you're going to do. So I'm measuring out there just kind of by eye. I'm leaving about 5 inches on each end for my bury. You're going to run through and you're going to create another locked Brummel. There's a couple ways to do this, but I'm just going to do it with the way that I know. So I made a locked Brummel there, and that creates your loop. And then you take your 2 loose ends and you bury them back in. That's a little difficult with that 1/8 am steel. I had to kind of make some twisted wire. There's a lot of good tutorials out there on how to do that, but I just used some twisted wire and just kind of milk it through there. So that's what I did there. I've got both of them buried now, it looks like. Yep, I've got both of them buried now, and that is going to make your endless loop. So there it is. Yeah, get that milk down real good. And then you're going to take your tubing and you're going to pull it to the middle. It's going to be a little difficult, but yep, get it to the middle there. And there is your 8er. That is very simple and very strong, and that's your 8er. Nothing to it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe.